Welcome back, everyone. November 27, 2022, and we're going to be talking about a few things today, including an explosion that was heard all over Pennsylvania, specifically the Wyoming Valley, very close to where I live, on Thanksgiving Day. I also have the audio of this explosion, which we're going to listen to in just a minute, but there is some fishy stuff going on with this story about what really took place. And when I say close, I mean 10 to 12 miles away, and this thing shook my house. I felt this on Thanksgiving Day myself. When I spoke to my parents, they both felt it. My dad actually called 911 because he didn't know what was going on. Even before news outlets such as WNEP, The Citizen's Voice, Eyewitness News, Times Leader, I was the first one to tweet about this, sharing the first article that came out hours after the explosion. They had no clue what this was. They couldn't find a fire, anything like that whatsoever. And that's when things got a little weird. And these news articles began to contradict each other. Some articles claim it was Tannerite, which is a legal explosive you can use here in Pennsylvania. Apparently hunters use it for target practice. That is what some of these articles are saying, but then other articles are contradicting it, claiming that there was no evidence of Tannerite in the area of the explosion. Take a listen to this.
You live in the Wyoming Valley. It is possible you heard a large explosion this morning. According to fire officials, the explosion was caused by hunters using Tannerite for target practice.
So to be clear, for the first few hours, they had no clue what this was. Then later on in the day, articles came out talking about these hunters that were unnamed. They were very specific about no charges being filed. And then this news briefing you just heard, followed by an article that later said there is no evidence of Tannerite or an explosive being used in that area. Now, what I want to do is take a listen to this audio of the explosion. I want you to pay attention to the beginning of the audio. It's almost like you hear a hissing noise leading up to the explosion, which sounds a lot like the sounds we hear from exploding meteors. Take a listen. I'll play it for you a few more times here. Alright, and now that we've actually heard it, I don't know about you, but that does not sound like, or seems like it could be something like Tannerite, causing houses to shake miles and miles away. It just doesn't make sense to me. It sounds like something exploding overhead. In fact, back on New Year's Day, there was a meteor that exploded over Pennsylvania, and it took them 2 to 3 days to actually come out and explain that's what it was, even though people saw it as it happened and reported it. So this has happened before. And then on top of that, these contradicting articles. I want to read this to you quickly because a lot of other people thought this was a meteor as well. Social media commenters sounded off, posting about hearing the noise and feeling it shake their homes. Speculation ran wild, from earthquakes and meteors to exploding shooting targets known as Tannerite. Hanover Township police tell Eyewitness News there was no evidence of Tannerite being used at the location they searched in the woods near the Preston section of the township. Police say they have closed the investigation. There have been no reports of damage or injuries. This coming after they claim in multiple news briefings that it was hunters using Tannerite. Now, we've seen in the past space weather being covered up. I'm not sure if that's what's happening here, but in my opinion, I truly feel like this was actually a meteor exploding with a sonic boom. I have some more evidence that this in fact was a meteor, and we're going to take a look at that very quickly. If you like content like this, please subscribe and ring the notification bell so you get notified anytime I post a video. It is greatly appreciated. All right, and now take a look at this. This is from American Meteor Society. 1 week ago, a meteor exploded over Ontario, Canada. It was seen all over Ontario and in the States as well. Over 156 people reported this on American Meteor Society. We have pictures and video of this. This picture right here from Derek Bowen, or at least being retweeted by him, of the meteor streaking across the sky in Brantford, Ontario. This was an open aperture picture. That's why you see the long streak. But there are some crazy videos of this thing. Not only that, but take a look at this. Niagara residents asked to be on the lookout for fallen meteorite, which landed in southern Ontario. After this thing exploded, it then hit the ground, which now makes it a meteorite. And that's rare enough on its own. But take a look at this video. You can see the tail breaking up. You don't see the explosion because it's a still camera. But just to be able to get video of this thing like this, seeing the tail break up like that is absolutely incredible. So this has been a theme in the Northeast and in Eastern Canada over the last year. We've had many sonic booms and meteors exploding overhead. The amount of reported meteors on sites like American Meteor Society is way up. And that is what leads me to believe that what happened here on Thanksgiving Day was actually a meteor, and the the media just didn't know how to explain it, which is why we had those contradicting articles where it should be absolutely easy to prove whether or not Tannerite was being used by hunters. Who are these people? Why is there no evidence of an explosion? And why was this thing heard miles and miles away as if it came from the sky? My friends, that's what I got for you for today. I hope you're all having a great weekend. I'll be back later on or tomorrow with more interesting stuff happening all over the world. Keep checking back. I appreciate each and every one of you. Shout out to Canada, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye. Stop right there, my friends. If you have not already, click that subscribe button and don't forget to hit the bell icon. Click all and you will get all notifications from this channel. And trust me, you won't be disappointed.